only have to turn if I'm stepping in, right? It's possible that I made it this far, and I give you a punch for tan sao, bong sao, or whatever, okay, and you're here. Relax your shoulder, okay? But I can't reach you, so there's no reason for you to turn. Generally, the only time that we're going to turn is if someone steps in on us, we need to turn, generally. If they're not stepping in, they're going to be too far away for us to turn. And why? Because the pressure of my arm forces your arm to bend into, and for the sake of argument, it's a bong sao right now. It could be a tan, it could be the jump sao, it could be whatever, right? It bent your arm into one of the defensive positions, okay? But from this point, I can't give you enough force to make you turn. There has to be pressure on this arm that is deep enough pressure that it actually can reach your body to make you turn. Right? So if I do this and I step in, right, you definitely feel the pressure to turn.
Right.
So you have a lot of people that, go ahead and relax. You have a lot of people that turn of their own, right? So active turning. So for me, the way that I like to teach is cause and effect. Everything has to have a reason, right? Wing Chun's a great system of martial arts, and for me, it's great because every single thing that happens for a reason.
Right.
You know, my pressure causes your arm to do this. It's not that I punch at you and you flick your arm and you do this on your own. You go forward, and I go forward. You go forward with an attack, a shape, whether it's a fist or whatever. You go forward in such a way that you either cause this collision to happen, or if I don't, if I don't punch you in such a way that this collision occurs, you can slip through, right? So you go forward in a manner that causes this collision to happen. From there, my pressure, if my pressure goes in that direction, that's what causes this to happen. For you to turn, you're not going to turn unless I give you pressure. So again, it's a function of the pressure. I step in, and that's what actually causes you to turn. If you turn when you're not supposed to, you run into problems. Right. If we're here, right? And I did this first chi sao attack. You turn because if you didn't turn, and I was that close, I can make contact with a bend in my arm. And when I have a bend, I always say, if I have a bend, I have room to extend, right? And I can go through, right? So that made you turn. I pulled your arms. You sunk this jump sao in there, right? And as I proceeded in, then you turned, right? And your arm covers both of mine. And I went into a bong sao, so we take this one away. Because when I pulled your arm out and I palmed, and you sunk this thing in the middle, right? So again, your elbow's inside and my elbow's outside, and that's what creates this friction where you can push against me and I can push against you and we can actually stick, right? But as I start going forward, if I stay like this and you have that pressure, I'm going to get hit. So what I have to do is, as I'm palming towards you and your angle is changing, my pressure has to point towards you as well. Right? So when I palm in, my pressure's going this way. As you turn, my pressure's pushing you here. It's no longer pushing you there. Right? Yeah, we do this with single arm chi sao with the younger students. We're here, right? Maybe we should switch sides so the camera to see on this side. So you're there and I'm here. Bring that up. So I'm palming towards here. My wrist is higher than my elbow. I palm in, and as that turns, just like earlier, when you're turning, that pressure has to remain constant. So as you're turning,
does my pressure go back in?
So my pressure's going that way, and as you turn, it's going in towards you, right? It's going in towards you. And same thing for you. When you're pressing, you're not pushing that way. You're actually pushing towards wherever my center is at the time, Which it changes, right? Sometimes the direction we face changes and the pressure, right? So for me, I'm pushing into your center, right? Or actually, we'll do it on this side. You can just put the other hand behind you if you want. I step in, and you turn, right? So this pressure from my bong sao is going towards your center. Yeah? It's not going that way anymore, because if I continue to go that way,
Right.
and you wedge me out, then I just get hit, right? So what I want is I want to attack you. I want this force going directly into you. And as I step in and your position changes, then the pressure, the direction of my pressure has to change too. Right. Then I have to go into that. Yeah, I have to go into that position. And now my force is pushing in there, right? It's not going that way. I was palming there, but you were in the middle.
Right.
Now you're not anymore. Yeah, so as you turn, the direction of my force turns also. It was going this way. As he turns, so does the direction of my force, right? Yeah, and then we get into all of these things where we can check the pressure, right? You should have a nice big angle there and a stable stance. So if I push against it, right, there's a reason why it's there. It's either stable or it's not. When you push in against me, same thing. If you push harder if you want to. I'll even stand on one leg to make it a little easier for you. Yeah. So as long as I'm rooted, I can channel that pressure into my stance, which is what I just did. But that's the goal. Yeah. There's a reason why you turn, and it's because we're going this side. Yeah. Palm in, and you turn. Yeah. This one stays. Yeah. And then when you press me down, and I catch it here, I have pressure now, just like we talked about on the other video. I have pressure there, and as you start to punch in, if this thing collapses at all, I'm in trouble, right? So I can't let it collapse. So it has to be channeled back into my stance. The pressure is even, especially when I'm in motion.